right, welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this new comic book Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. I'm going to give you a rundown all the things on my pull list, some variants to keep an eye out for, some fun little theme variants that might be running this month, and anything else I find that you should be paying attention to before you go to your shop this Wednesday. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, let's start off this week as we do every week with my pull list. This is my personal pull list of books that I can't wait to get a hold of when I get to my shop on Wednesday. We are going to start it off with a book that has been on the fence before, but now it's just full on the list because it's one of the better DC books that I'm reading these days, and that is Batgirl. I've never been a huge Batgirl fan, but for whatever reason, this storyline has just kind of caught my attention, and I think it's kind of fun with Lady Shiva and all these other assassins, etc. I'm in, and I'm on board for this one, so I'm looking forward to issue 5. And it only has 2 covers. We have a cover A here, and there's a cover B option if you like this one better. I'm probably just going to get the cover A. I kind of like the flowers there, but either option is solid in my opinion. Also, you guys know that apart from the Energon universe, Transformers and G.I. Joe and the like, I'm also a fan of the Ghost Machine side of things. Now, they may be expanding beyond a level of books that I can keep up with, but that doesn't mean there aren't still solid titles from the OG run that I'm still on board for, like Hyde Street. I really enjoy this kind of dark corner of their universe, almost an anthology type series, but I'm enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to issue 4 here. It seems like they've been stretched out too long. Like I feel like I've been waiting a while, but be that as it may, I'm still looking forward to reading this one. 3 covers here, cover A, and then we've got a B and a C cover, all open order, so you can grab whichever one you like. To me, I'm really fine with any of them. It doesn't really matter. What interests me the most is what's inside these covers. So cover doesn't really matter too much on this one. So I just want to read this thing. Now, on top of this, we are going to continue on as part of my pull list. While I am behind on reading it, it's just up my alley. I mean, we got knights, samurais, dragons. I mean, this is just stuff that I like. So despite the fact that I am a couple issues behind on actually reading this one, it's just one of those things where I fell behind. I like the covers. I like the ideas. So I keep picking this up. So I'll catch up reading soon enough. But here we have issue 6 coming out this week with a wraparound cover and then another B cover option here. So I don't know which one I'm going to prefer here. I like them both. I mean, you got that huge like snake type creature here, and we got a badass dragon. I don't know which way to go with this one, but either one will probably do. And like I said, I'm going to catch up on reading this one as soon as I can. Also, I've been a big fan of what Jed McKay's been doing with Moon Knight over the last couple of years, it seems now. I guess that's how long he's been working on it. But I enjoy it, so I'm looking forward to Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu number 6. A couple of really good covers here. I do like this cover A a lot, but I'm probably not going to grab this one because one of my favorite covers of the week is the Gonzo book here. Just something about this, like Art Deco, reminds me of Metropolis kind of skulls, and it's just cool. It has a cool look to it. So this is definitely going to be the one that I grab for this title this week, if I can. And that is the B cover for number 6. Now, remember, I might skip over other covers that we might find in other segments later on. So just keep that in mind as we run through this, because I don't like double dipping and talking about covers more than once. So these are both good. And there is another title we'll get to, another cover for Moon Knight I'll get to at least later. All right, continuing on with more books that I can't wait to get a hold of this week. I've really enjoyed Cruel Kingdom. I said it before how I think it's dumb that they reused Kingdom for their series here, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, they had the space one, and now we got the fantasy one. I'm enjoying the fantasy series here a lot, so I'm looking forward to seeing what other stories we have in play for this. What is issue this? 3? Issue 3. Oh, feels like we've been doing this longer, but only issue 3. So Definitely looking forward to this. To me, again, once again, it doesn't matter. Both covers are all right here. Another one, neither one really jumps out too much at me. So I'm really grabbing this for what's inside the cover. So cover doesn't make too much of a difference to me. But if you are interested in incentives, this does have 3 options. We still have that Jay Stevenson 1 in 10, where he's doing that EC horror Harvey kind of mashup. Then we've got the the detailed how the book is made, kind of behind the scenes look at one of the covers there for the 1 in 25, and then the 1 in 50, which again, I get it has all just the symbols going around, but it still feels more like an interior page than a cover for a 1 in 50. I don't know, it just seems like a table of contents kind of type of page, or like that page before you get to the table of contents. So just not a fan of those as the 1 in 50s. That's all. And with that said, that's all I can put on my pull list for now. I'll explain a little bit more as we get along a little bit later into the show, because there are a couple of books that are normally on my pull list that I had to put in another section. And with that said, before we move on, I just want to take a moment to remind any of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot yet, use my link down below and sign up. First-time users, you get a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. $15 to sign up for your first purchase. You can do with it whatever you want. That said, thanks to everyone who did come out to my Whatnot sale this past Friday. I had a lot of fun doing it, so much so that I do plan on going back very soon. I don't know if it'll be this week, but definitely by next week, I'll probably set up another show just to kind of have some fun talking about comics and get rid of some books, because like I said, I've got books I got to get rid of, and it doesn't matter to me how cheap they go. I'm just looking to just get books out there into some other people's hands so they can enjoy them. With that said, let's move it on now to our viewer recommendations section. Now, last week we had a recommendation for FML. I think Doc Rob might have sent this one to me, and I read it. I've got to go back now, though. I've got to go back and read the first 3 issues, because while reading this issue, it was pretty dense. There was a lot in here, and I liked the vibe. I enjoyed it. So I've got to go back now and catch up on the first 3 issues to really not make sense of, but really get more of the backstory and get involved so I can see this one through, because I did enjoy this book. So I'm going to go try and go back and get those first 3 issues to check this one out. So good recommendation. I did enjoy this. I like the art. I like the whole, like I said, the whole vibe of the book. I'm in. So with that said, I'll play a little bit of catch up. Also, it was recommended to check out the second issue of Seasons, and this was another story that, I enjoyed. I enjoyed this one, so I'm going to see if I can keep up with this series as best I can. But again, with so many titles, it could get hard as we move down the line. But those were the recommendations for last week. This week, I had another recommendation dropped a week or so ago. I forget who did this one, but it was Day of the Dead Girl. So this one's out of Magma. So this one could be kind of tough. I don't know if my shop will have it. So if I can't get a hold of it there, I might have to order this one online. But I'll take a look. Oh, here we go. This one was from Brian Hayes. So Brian, thanks for the recommendation. I'm going to give this one a shot. I do like the look of the art here. Like, this cover is kind of capturing my attention, though I haven't read many Magma books, so I don't know, the quality inside. Does the interiors match the exteriors? So we'll see here. But we've got 2 options on this book. Whatever I can get, I will take, because again, I want to read this one and give this one a try. But here is the A and B cover on that one. So hopefully I can get this at the shop on Wednesday. And like I said, if not, it might need to be a little bit delayed. Like, I'm still waiting for my other book from 2 weeks ago. I didn't get it yet in the mail. The lost loose ends book, that hard case book. I still want to check that one out. It just hasn't come in. I got a delay in shipping somehow, but still waiting on it. So still looking forward to reading that one. Now, those are the viewer recommendations. And if any of you out there watching have any recommendations of series or titles, it doesn't have to be new stuff. It could be old stuff. Like, man, have you been reading Green Arrow lately? Like Barlord gave me as a suggestion. Things like that. Or Superman. Like, is Superman good right now? Bruce was saying something about it, but I want to hear from other people too. Just because, again, I want to pick and choose what we can do, because I can only do so many each week, but I do like the suggestions. So if you got any, please drop them in the comments after the show down below, and I'll take a look. With that said, there are already titles apart from what you guys might suggest that I also want to check out. And those are going to be also my taste test books. So these are things also in my mind that I just kind of want to give a look-see. Stuff I might have read before, haven't read in a while, want to go back, and take a temperature on what's going on right now. Case in point, last week I said, I want to check out The Flash. So Flash 18, what Cy Spurrier's been doing with the title. And Yeah, there was a lot going on here, and I felt really kind of lost. I mean, we had Warlord, and there was so many characters just bouncing around, and we were going from here to there. I don't know what was going on. But apart from that, it wasn't even just feeling lost. I just really wasn't into what was going on either. It just, I don't know, it just didn't grab me. So unfortunately for me, I'm not gonna be going back to picking up Flash just yet. So it just wasn't really wasn't scratching me where I itch like I had hoped. But yeah, hopefully maybe it turns around soon. But yeah, I just didn't know. Again, a lot going on, but at the same time, I wasn't all that intrigued. So it is what it is. Not everything can be a winner, and not everything out there is for everyone. We all have our own, predilections and tastes. So, you so be it. Move on. And with that in mind, the next book that I want to try is something that it's probably silly to wait this long to do it, but as it's nearing its conclusion of its second arc, kind of interested in going back to Ultra Mega. I remember reading the first run. I don't even know if I finished the first run of it, but I did enjoy it. This whole kaiju kind of vibe, cool art. And now that it's going to be ending with number 9, or at least this next arc is going to be ending with number 9. I don't know if there's going to be any more after that or not. I'm kind of interested. So before we get to that final issue, I figure, you know what? Let me grab 8 and see if I should go back and catch myself up on this. So this is my little taste test of the week that I'm going to give a try. Ultra Mega number 8. A couple of covers here. There's an A cover. We also got a B cover by Sanford Green, which is really cool. I'm fine with either because I think it's a Heron cover. The writer. I like them both, so whatever one I can get, I'll be fine with. And for those of you out there who do want incentives, there are black and white versions of both of these books for the 1 in 10 and the 1 in 25. I don't need all that. I'm just fine getting whatever the cover that is on the shelf because it already is a pricey book. I think it's like $7.99. So it's already an expensive book to begin with because it's oversized. It's thicker than your normal comic book, but that's fine. And with that said, before we move on to our next segment, I just want to again remind you guys, if you're looking for supplies, you need bags and boards, long boxes, short boxes, top loaders, pages for your cards, anything you need to keep your comics and collectibles safe. If you're going to go over to BCW, use my code RENA10. Save yourself 10% off your entire order because it's not great to have to spend money on things to keep your books safe. I mean, bags and boards an expense that's just a pain. So save money while you can. So if you're going over and you like BCW like I do, save yourself 10% off. Use that code RENA10. Again, save money. Why not, right? Nothing, no harm, no foul. You help out the channel, you save yourself a few bucks, hopefully. With that said, let's talk about what I'm on the fence about. This is a series of books that I've been getting and I'm considering dropping at any time. It's just, I've mentioned it before. There's only so much I can keep up with, only so much as a collector I can keep up with too, because these books are expensive. I know that's not something for everyone, but a lot of us out there do have a budget and we do have to pick and choose and decide where we're going to spend our money. And with that said, some of these books I got to go in and out on because I just can't keep getting them out of habit. A couple titles I will keep getting until I stop collecting books or I die. That's like X-Men and Amazing Spider-Man. Regardless, those runs are not going to end. So I'm going to keep getting them no matter how good or bad the writing and art get. I'm just going to keep getting them as an OCD collector. But beyond those two titles of like Uncanny and Amazing, everything else could be up for grabs. So with that in mind, here's a book every month I feel like I'm there going, I don't know. And once again, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep up with this. I'm just getting tired. I'm getting tired of these extra and new universes, and they're fun to start, and then I get bored very, very quickly with them. Maybe it's just me, but the Ultimates, it never really grabbed me. It was all right, but it was never great to me. I know a lot of people enjoy it, and that's fine. I'm not criticizing or judging anybody for enjoying it. It's just for me, I'm just over the alternate universe type stuff. It's like I said, it's fun for a little bit, and then you just kind of go, all right, are we just going to tell the same kind of stories again? Or, oh, we're just going to change this about it. Cool. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'd rather read something completely brand new that I have no preconceived notions of whether they're going to follow a past storyline or not, or how they're going to tweak it. It's just putting me in this mindset that it's not as enjoyable for me. So with that said, yeah, Namor and Red Skull. Cool. I don't know. Make the regular Avengers title good again. How about that? With that said, This one's probably going to get dropped by me very, very soon, if not with this issue or after this issue. Couple of covers here. Cover A. I do kind of like the Namor cover there in the middle. But we got A, B, and a C, and then we also have a 1 in 25 incentive. But yeah, not for me. That's fine. Leave that one there. I've also said I'm not a big individual Wolverine collector, like for his solo titles. I just get bored quickly with Wolverine stories because they all kind of end up feeling the same. But I'm still on board for now for Wolverine number 7. But as I mentioned, we are on dangerous ground. This whole gold medal, okay, just wrap it up soon. Like, that's all. Just don't drag this out too long. Like, it was fun, but don't drag it out too long. That said, they're noting a key appearance is contained in this issue. I don't know what that appearance is yet. Again, I don't get any early copies or anything like that. So I'm like you, waiting until Wednesday. I am kind of curious anytime they drop that in the previews description. So we'll see. Is that worthwhile? Is that a worthwhile tease? Or is that just, more BS just to get people to chase a book? I don't know, but we'll find out on Wednesday. That said, I'm still on board for now, but as soon as this thing goes south, it's off the pull list. That's why it's on the fence. Couple of covers here. This is the cover A. I do like the Stephen Platt cover in the middle. I was just talking to my buddy the other day about Stephen Platt, and like, yeah, he had that Rogue cover, I think last week. It was okay, but I didn't love it. So I'm like, been okay, but I kind of enjoyed this one. It's a throwback. It's a callback to that Wolverine 88 cover with Deadpool and Wolverine facing off there. So it's got a similar vibe there with the pose, but outside of that, I don't know. I kind of like it. With that, there is also a 1 in 25 here too. So let me share that with you. This is the 1 in 25 cover. I mean, it's okay. So X23 and Logan, cool. I don't need the 1 in 25, so I'll just leave that there. Now, while we're in the X corner of the universe here talking about Wolverine, I also got to talk about this, I guess, 9, I think it's going to be 7 issues. I think it's 7. I was going to say 9, but I think it's 7 issues. This story arc of X-Manhunt, where apparently Charles Xavier has escaped, and now we got to go and track, Chuck down. Because, he's become one of the X-Men's greatest villains, apparently, these last few years. I shouldn't say apparently, but I get it. Decades of storylines. Oh, we got to try something. And with that, X-Manhunt this week comes out with 3 issues. We've got part 1 here in the Uncanny X-Men. As I said, I'm getting this no matter what. It's uncanny. I'm not, even though they keep restarting this thing with new number 1s over and over again, like ASM, I'm still keeping up with them. Legacy issue, what is it, 711? Cool. I'm still on board. It's still going in my filing cabinet. Well, actually, there's no room in the filing cabinet. They're going in short boxes and scattered all over. I've definitely got to organize soon. That's also partly why I need to get rid of some books. But with that said, normally on my pull list, but this is in this Manhunt section for now. Cover A here, couple other options. If you're interested, we've got the character kind of like design covers that they've been doing on this run in the middle with the B cover, which you will know is going to be the incentive later. But then they're also doing these connecting covers. More on that in a minute. But these Noto connecting covers are also being done for this Manhunt storyline. So there are going to be 7 of them. Now, here's that incentive I mentioned. It's a 1 in 50. You get it if you want it, but it's really unnecessary. With that, also out this week, and also normally on my pull list, because I've been enjoying NYX. I don't know. I know it may not be written for me, but I'm still kind of enjoying it. NYX number 9. Part 2 of this 7-part series of the Manhunt. Here we go. Normally on my pull list, couple of covers here, cover A and a cover B, which is that connecting cover. I don't really care for either of these all that much. I mean, I'll probably just get the connecting cover by default because it's still a Noto, and I like those 2 characters. Not loving that Professor X on the cover A, but I do really like the 1 in 25. Keep an eye on this. It's selling a little bit above ratio. I think I've seen like $35 sales, maybe even up to 45. Something to keep an eye on, but I just like it. I just like the art. I think it's cool. I like that kind of anime kind of vibe. So this to me, I enjoy. But I don't think I'm going to pay up for this one personally. But, it's something to keep an eye on for this week. And lastly, the 3rd part this week coming out for X-Manhunt is Storm. And this is Storm number 6. Also, normally on my pull list, I like Storm. I like this this run that they've got going on right now. I'm kind of curious where it's going to go. So Legacy 17. It's kind of silly for that. But Storm number 6. Also, multiple covers here. Cover A with that connecting cover option as well. I'm fine just getting the A on this one. And there's also a 1 in 25 incentive available with the maker. Cool. Now, I keep saying connecting because that's how they're listed. They're listing as Noto connecting covers for this book. And I know what you're thinking. You're looking at them like, oh yeah, the police lineup. I could see that. You put them all together, but this is not how police lineups work. There's only one set of numbers, maybe two, like one on each side, but you can't have it continued. Like these are individual lineups. These are 3 individual lineup pictures, not one continuous picture. Just saying. Don't call them connecting because these don't really connect. They're in a sequence. They're in a series. Maybe we need a new nomenclature for that, but these don't actually connect to me. But whatever. I'm not going to get these. It's just this doesn't speak to me all that much. I mean, I do like a good Usual Suspects homage, but that's not what this feels like. This is, like, again, feels like a series of covers of just police lineups, which, they're all right. With that said, here's my question mark, because I don't know why they're calling them connecting, but that's how they're listed. But with that said, let's now move on to our other big Marvel storyline that's running right now, and that's One World Under Doom, which, well, I'll get to this other bit in a second. But first, let's go with the new book. There is one new book coming out, part of this One World Under Doom storyline this week. That's it. So we got one part to get a hold of, and that's Doctor Strange of Asgard. So even though he's not the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange still knows magic, and he's still going to be somebody to contend with here. So I'm kind of curious, and I like a couple of these covers. This would normally just fall in the new #1 section, but since it's part of One World Under Doom, I had to put it here in our bookmark of that segment until that storyline's over. But here are the other covers that I like. We got we got the cover A here. All 3 options here aren't bad. We got a Clayton Crane there in the middle. It's a little muddy for my taste, just in the faces. Like, it looks like a picture that was a lot smaller that we zoomed in, and they're just not as defined once you zoom in. You know how that works? I know sometimes I use crappy images, and you guys probably see it a little bit blurrier on your screens, but that's how that one feels in the middle to me. But it is also the 1 in 100 incentive variant for this book, though I do like the 1 in 25 Stephanie Hans quite a bit. Again, I'm not paying up for a 1 in 25 right now, but I do like it. If it were one of the open order covers, that would definitely have been my pick for my poll. But I'll just probably go with the cover A. And then we got the 1 in 10 design cover. I know those are kind of fun for people who like those, but I don't know. Once again, it's just a tired kind of angle that I just don't really need, like, action figure covers anymore. Like, okay, you kind of run it into the ground, Marvel. Too many of them. That's all. Too many of them. Now, with that said, let's do a little bit of a catch up on the storyline and the reading order as it's been outlined. Again, I got this one from League of Comic Geeks, but I might have to find a new one because this one, despite the fact that our first 9 issues running through February there, and then we got a couple other here that they're adding on for the beginning of March. But look, they put NYX number 9 in here as part of the reading order. It's not, doesn't have the One World Under Doom headline because it's got the Manhunt headline at the top. I don't know if maybe this has a dual purpose, and maybe this is part of because I haven't read it yet. So I don't know for sure yet. Until Wednesday comes, I'll read the book and see if there's any crossover appeal to both storylines. I kind of doubt it. I kind of feel like maybe they just parked this in the wrong category by accident. But until I know more and until I see this book on Wednesday, I can't know for sure. So that's why I put the question mark here as far as our Doom reading order goes. So I'll just say for sure one more book to get us up to 10. Whew. But we'll see about that NYX number 9 being the 11th part of this tie-in to this overarching storyline. Now, with that Doom book, that Doctor Strange book normally would have found itself in this segment, which are the new #1s for this week. But we put it under Doom. Now let's get to the rest of the new #1s for the week. Starting off with DC. And over on DC, I got to admit, I wasn't paying attention. They slipped this one past me. I didn't see mention of this, that it was coming. I don't do FOC. I don't look at that far ahead. I know a lot of people do, and because, I don't know, it spoils me for doing this show. That's the main reason why I don't look at FOC. I don't care about getting a jump on buying the hot book, that kind of way for myself. I'll figure it out before the week of. That's fine. If I don't get a hold of it personally, it's all right. It's okay. I'll figure it out down the line. With that said, and I do that. I sacrifice that to keep myself fresh for this show. But Secret Six, this is what I'm getting at. I didn't know we were getting a new Secret Six title, and I really like the old Secret Six title. I like the lineup. I liked, with the Catman, and even when Bane was there, and you had Ragman, etc. That said, I don't know about this grouping though. I don't know about some of these newer characters. I'll give it a shot. I mean, Deadshot's still there. Catman's still there in the background. I don't know much about Dreamer. I don't know. Black Alice is in there. Okay, well, we'll see. Point being, we will see. And John Kent. All right. I feel like we didn't have a place for all these characters, and now they're going to make a team, and they're leveraging an old team to do it. Hopefully that's not the case, but I'll take a look at this anyway. With that said, this is the cover A. A couple other options here too, with a B and a C cover. As I said, I like the OG run. You had Scandal, and I don't know. It was a fun squad. I like that old title. This one, we'll give it a shot and see. 3 open order covers here, as well as a couple of foils and 1 incentive. So we got a couple of foil options here, bookending the 1 in 25 in the middle, which, it's all right, but I don't think you need to go run and chase after it. You can, again, find those generally for like 10 to 15 bucks. So well under ratio if you want it. With that said, the other new DC book that's starting up this week is a new volume of Teen Titans Go. I might have to get this for my son because he still watches Teen Titans Go on the regular. He's just, anytime I go to the streaming services, it seems that's where it's left off. It's left off with a Teen Titans Go just kind of frozen on screen, or the last thing watched. But with that said, new title starting up, and it's only $2.99. So that's also kind of nice, making it a little bit cheaper and a little more affordable for the kids. Cool. With that said, remember when DC was drawing the line at $2.99? It's like 10 years ago now, but I remember it. With that said, they're not trying to milk us with covers either, which is also a good thing. They actually seem to be making this for kids, not for older collectors. As we have a cover A and a sketch. 2 options, cool. Makes sense. Kids title, we don't need incentive for kids titles. Kids don't need 1 in 25s. Those are for people with more money and the adults to go and collect. So we don't have to mix those things together. And the sketch could be cool. Even for a kid, they can bring it to a convention and get their favorite artist to draw on it if their parents want to pay for it. Or maybe, they can do the puppy eyes and get a free remark or free sketch from an artist if they bring their Teen Titans Go book. Hey, you never know. With that all said, that's our DC books for the weeks, the new number 1s. Going over to Marvel and staying on the kids angle side of things, we're getting What If Mickey Became... I don't care. Again, I've mentioned before, I'm already over the Disney, Mickey, Avengers, Marvel crossovers. They're doing so many covers and all these what if stories. I don't care. Personally, it's just not for me. I get it. People enjoy it. Go have at it. Enjoy it. I'm just not. I can't be spending $5 on this. It's not for me. That's all. And nor are all of these covers they're making for this. Because again, I get it's popular. And just because it's popular doesn't mean I have to like it, nor do I expect you to have to like the things that I like. So again, if you enjoy it, enjoy it. It's just not for me. But I'm still going to tell you all about it because I'm trying to, give something for everyone, even if it's not for me. And with that, Mickey and the Avengers, cover A. We've got a couple other options here too, with some callbacks to some older, Marvel covers and characters, etc. And then we got other options here too, if you want these. Pluto as Ant-Man's kind of fun. And then we'll take those 2 and make those our incentives, because why we need incentives? Well, because 1 in 50 as well as a 1 in 100. They're out there if you want them. They're pricey, and not as pricey as you might think, because these Disney covers are way cheaper than they used to be, because I think they just tired out the market, but they're still doing it. So if you want them, you can go find them. Now, I feel like it's been a while since I was excited for a new Star Wars comic book. I got worn out. I fell behind, and like even with the High Republic stuff, I've fallen behind way far. So there's a lot of reading for me to catch up on. But I will admit, the Star Wars Jedi Knight series, starting with issue 1 and continuing on from the prequel era, I guess filling in those gaps between those movies, etc. All right, I'm kind of intrigued. I think I might give this a shot. Maybe it'll get me back on the horse for more Star Wars titles. I don't know. But I am kind of intrigued here. So a couple of covers here. I do like this one. This is the Raza on the cover A. Well, I don't so much like the other options here too. I mean, you got the Jurgens as like a throwback, and then you got Obi-Wan there doing his his two-finger point as he normally his little and then we got the overdone action figure cover. The foil looks pretty cool. I'm assuming I haven't seen it yet, but I think a lightsaber in foil could be pretty cool. That one might, despite the fact that it'll cost more, might catch my eye. There is another foil there. And then there are incentives. And the Virgin 1 in 100 is another book that, I don't know, keep an eye on it. We'll see if a Star Wars book can get hot once again. But I like the image, despite the fact that this one's not going to be foil, the 1 in 100. I don't know. I kind of like the image. And then we got a Greg Land 1 in 25 if you're down for that. Now, apart from Star Wars, we're also getting a new Web of Spider-Verse New Blood series. Once again, with the multiverse kind of angles and all that stuff, I don't need more spider characters, but could be fun. Who knows? They're making a new one. And I'll look into these characters and we'll probably talk about some of them. Dollar been digging later this week because we got a Spider Hulk I see there in the background, Spider Prowler. We'll see. I'll have to do some research and take a look back and see if we got any fun connections we could talk about on Thursday. But for now, new #1 coming out this Wednesday with a couple of covers here. This is the cover A. We got some B options and C options, which aren't bad. And then there is only one incentive, which is a 1 in 10 design cover. So if you're into it, you can probably pick that up and find it pretty easily. Now, those are the big two for new #1s. Now let's get to all the indie stuff for #1s. And we got a little bit here too. And yes, I'm considering Dark Horse on the indie side of things, as they do have this From the World of Ghost, Sister Imperator. I don't know who this is. I don't know anything about this title. Really admit that. All I can tell you is when I look at this cover, all I see is Mandy Rose. Any of you guys used to watch WWE? I mean, she ended up in NXT, but the face, it just looks like they use Mandy Rose as an inspiration. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but that's just what I see. And with that said, I don't know. I don't know much about the character, but the Mandy Rose thing kind of caught my eye, so I figured we should just put that in here. With that said, we're also getting Usagi Yojimbo with a new #1. So yeah, one of Shogun Samurai, strongmen become blah blah blah. I'm not gonna tell you the story. If you're reading this stuff, you're reading this stuff. So I think the subtitle here is the 1,000 plums, 10,000 plums. I'm sorry, 10,000 plums. So part 1 of 5. Legacy issue 280. Wow, it's been 280 issues of Usagi, huh? I guess it makes sense. He's been around a while. Couple of covers here. They're kind of cool. This is something I feel like I should have been reading all along, but I just never really committed to it. Because again, I love samurai stuff, so I don't know why I don't read this. It's just one of those things. I just never got to it. And I felt like I guess I was so far behind or so out of touch that I just felt like, oh, it's not for me because I'm too far out. With that said, I like the other covers here too. And then we've got another option here with Mothra. So Mothra, Queen of the Monsters. I don't know if I need to read a Mothra title personally, but I will say I do dig this cover. Just the level of detail on it, I do like it. There is a B cover option here as well. It's not bad. You got Mothra and you got the twins or whatever. You got the whole thing. I don't know, from the the Monsterverse. They even touch on that in the movies, etc. But I like this cover, and this cover also is available as the 1 in 25 Virgin incentive, which it still works as a Virgin because the background is so detailed, and it's not just some empty space above Mothra's head. I like it. The 1 in 50 sketch on the other covers, all right, but really that 1 in 25 is pretty nice. I like it, but still probably not going to pay up for it or anything, but can just appreciate it for what it is. Image is giving us Monkey Meat. It's just fun to say, Monkey Meat. The summer batch anthology is back for new 5 issues. Cool. So we'll see what this is. See if this is any fun. Enjoy your summer vacation format with 2 tales, games, and double the trauma excitement. Yeah. All right. We'll see. Could be fun. Could be a fun title. But there's just one cover. That's all you got. So you want to give it a shot? You can give it a shot. $4. Up next, this one's kind of intriguing me, mostly because I don't know, swords in space, getting sort of like a heavy metal kind of vibe, but the Miranda Brothers Blade Forger out of Mad Cave. Don't know if this is a property that's existed before or anything about it. I'm just looking at the covers, and it's supposed to be an epic next project for these the creators of We Live. I remember enjoying We Live. I don't know if I ever finished it though, but okay, the Blade Forger, cool cover A. Cover B is even better, but the real trick of this one is I really like the 1 in 10 because this character looks like a Sith Lord. I don't know. Inhyuk Lee looks like Red Skull as a Sith Lord with a blazing. I don't know. It's just cool look. I like the cover. That's all. So I like this one. Maybe I'll look for it. I don't know. Maybe if I'm going to spend $5, 1 in 10, you can generally get it for like $10 or less. So if you only got to pay a couple of bucks to get a 1 in 10, I might do it for this because I just really like this cover. I don't know. With that said, before we get out of this section, I talked about these last week, so I'm not going to spend any time on it, but it looks like Dynamite got delayed. I know with Diamond and Dynamite really only rolling through there have been some delays, so it looks like Darkwing Duck was supposed to come out last week. It's now coming out this week. So, yeah, run through the covers again. But Darkwing is not the only one that seems to have gotten delayed with the new number ones. Also seems that Herculoids, again, I talked about this last week, so not going to double dip and talk about it all again. It just looks like it didn't come out last week, and it's coming out this week for maybe not all. I mean, that's the problem with the delays with some of the shipping. Not everybody gets delayed, but at the very least, Midtown is delayed with these. So I'll point to that there. Multiple covers here. You got the Barons, you got the Linsner, and then we got other options here. The Masafara, I think, and a Mignola. Cool. And we got a couple 1 in 10s too with some new cover art. I talk about these because I talked about them already. I'm not going to talk about these again because I already talked about them last week. But once again, this will lead us back to a repeat in our next segment, which is
WTF, Gary. WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
That's right. WTF. Because last week I talked about the Herculoids cover that was a Liefeld. And yeah, it still looks just as bad this week. And it still looks like the character is just taking a dump right on the cover. Why? I don't know. But not getting this one. Now, I tell you guys what I think, right? Like, I don't play around. I give you my honest opinion on things. And I will say that apart from the Herculoids Liefeld taking a dump on the cover, I know a lot of times it seems like I just pick on Frank Miller and Rob Liefeld in this segment when I talk about art that I don't like. But that's not the case because artists I normally do like. And I will say I normally like his stuff, but this is just not for me. And that's Spears. Mark Spears doing Thundercats this week with this Lion-O. It just doesn't hit for me. Just the grizzled Mel Gibson look as Lion-O, making it look like realism, like a live. Sometimes when you make a cartoon accurate as it may be, yes, this is cartoon accurate with the with the way the color palette of his skin or whatever we call it. Don't know if it's skin or fur or what. That's the other thing with a cartoon. You don't know the texture of him. It could be fur. He could be lined with fur, so it doesn't look that way when you make him humanoid here and more real photorealism, because now it looks like he's got a weird tan spot, like he got a spray on tan and shaved his big goatee off, and now it didn't get tan under there because it didn't get sprayed. It really reminds me, remember that episode of Friends with Ross? He got sprayed only on the one side because he couldn't get the timing right. It feels that way with Lion-O's hands and around his mouth. He's just got a weird look. That's all. Just not loving it. And like I said, I'm honest. I just don't love this one. That said, sticking with Thundercats, I got something else I want to talk about. That's this cover. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's not bad. What's wrong with that? You're right. There's nothing wrong with the art here. That's not what I'm talking about. What's kind of weirding me out is, again, I remember the toy. That's what his weapons look like. His nunchucks with the little claws on them, that's what they look like. But the way he's holding it in this picture and the way he's holding it out, it looks like a back scratcher.
I guess I'll see if I can get my old gig back selling butt scratchers at the ballpark. Butt scratcher! Butt scratcher! Get your butt scratcher here! Butt scratcher!
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 And it just, yeah, it reminded me of that Family Guy episode. That's all I could think. That's all I could see when I saw this cover. So I had to put it in here. Now, with that all said, let's move it on. Later prints. So we do have some later prints. And the reason why I want to go to later prints now is because this should be in the WTF section because it is a complaint of mine. And that's this first book. We are getting a second print facsimile. I didn't realize they kept printings, like a printing count on facsimiles. We've had multiple facsimiles. We had facsimiles few years apart. We've seen that. Publishers have done that before. And it's like 2024 facsimile or 2020 facsimile. That's usually how they denote it. I have not seen them denote it as facsimile second print. But that's what we're getting with Fantastic Four #1, with a second print of their facsimile cover that just came out not that long ago. Probably because they wanted an excuse to sell more of these, but also sell you the B cover Alex Ross, which is a cool cover. That was like a 1 in 50 way back in the day, I believe. I think it was a 1 in 50. It was a variant incentive when they did some homages to some classic covers back at Marvel. I think it was the anniversary year of some kind. I don't remember the year exactly, but I know I've seen that cover before. It's just being reused here. But also to do a facsimile second print incentive. Come on, man. We don't need all this. Seriously. But all right, we got a sad thing here. So much so, and they're just using old art that wasn't even finished. I mean, look at his finger. Look, there's a line where the panel cut off, and they just, come on, man. This is really what you put on the cover? This part of his finger's missing, and what's with the line? Going straight down, showing where his finger was cut off because it was a panel. It's just, I don't know. With that, more facsimiles coming our way, because even though you can find, well, here's another one you might not find in the dollar bin. Of the Batman Hush Run, most of them you can find in the dollar bin still. So getting the facsimiles of them, it seems like an overreach and a more expensive option. But I will admit, this one with Superman, the 612, this one can go for a few bucks more than $5. So you might see this one for $5 to $10 in a lot of places. So maybe a facsimile makes sense, I guess. Especially if you want a shiny foil one, sure, have at it. Knock yourself out. Spend your $6 there. It's an option. I got the original, so I don't need to get a new one. They're not that old, and again, they're not that hard to find if you want them. So the facsimile angle doesn't make sense here. It's not like a book like this, where not everybody has easy access to Brave and the Bold. Brave and the Bold #30 is not a book that's just readily available at any shop. You can go to basically any shop and grab most of that Hush Run. You can't do that with an old school Justice League book. So them doing facsimiles of these makes sense. I don't think we need to have all of the blanks for every single facsimile you make, apparently, nor do we need a foil version for every single facsimile we're making. But you want to make options. I get it. People are buying them. So who am I to criticize? Whether I think it's necessary or not, it's being done. To me, it's a waste of paper, but it is what it is. So the one facsimile would be enough. That said, more printings coming our way. I can't believe we're getting to a third print for G.I. Joe #1. Again, fan of the series. I like it. I just can't believe there's people who haven't gotten this yet. Like, do we need more printings? That said, I do like this cover. I like this Baroness a lot. I may have to get it just for this cover, but I don't think we need the multiple cover options once again. Why do we need to have 4 options for a third print? Yes, we have the Baroness, we have a Duke, and what it seems to be, we're getting some strange Cobra Commander cover, but I haven't confirmed whether we're getting this or not. I didn't see it like available at Midtown, so it's listed as a possibility, but I don't know if that one's definitely coming or not. But what is definitely coming is the fact that we have Duke there in the middle, and then we're getting a battle damaged Duke version. That seems unnecessary. Just pick one or the other. I get it. You got multiple pieces of art, but we don't really need to have these as options to buy. I mean, these are $5 a piece. Do we really need to? You really want to get people to have to buy both? Because most people are kind of like me in the sense that you got a little bit of OCD to you, and you really feel that collector mentality. It's like, well, I can't just get one. I got to get them both. That's $10 you're making somebody spend now to get this cover for a third printing of a book they probably already own. Yeah, I get it. They prey on us sometimes, it feels. That's what bothers me, because sometimes it feels like they're preying on us a little bit. But then again, maybe not. I know when they reach certain sales points, they make the decision to make more books because there's the demand is out there. I get it. So man, there's plenty of people who haven't read it yet who may need a copy, and for them, God bless you, go get it. Because again, I encourage you to read this, but we'll see. We're also getting a second print for issue 2. This is not new. They've been doing this the entire run for all of the series here. So we are getting the good guys and the bad guy versions. So there you go. Keep that in mind too. So you get a Destro and you got a Cover Girl option. I think that's Cover Girl option there. Cool. And then finally, since the series it's bi-monthly in the sense that it's once every 2 months we get a new issue, it's easy to forget and it's easy to fall behind or not even have a copy of Aliens versus Avengers. So a third printing, I guess, makes sense here. All right. With that said, we're all through that. Now, let's get into the variants for the month, because it's a new month. So that means we have a new set of theme variants for both publishers. And so far, out of DC, all we're getting this first week is International Women's Day starting off. So it's March, Women's Month. That's what we're getting. And our first book here is a Jenny Frison, Birds of Prey. Cool. And that's the only one we're getting so far. Don't know what other books they have in plan for this series for the international, for the Women's Day series, but this is our first one. Not bad. Also, from a different angle, Star Wars Women's History Month variant. So this is specifically for Star Wars now. I don't know if Marvel's going to do their own or not, because again, there's a lot of other theme variants already starting. We'll get to those in a second, but Star Wars is doing the Women's History Month, and they have one title as well, and that's On the Jedi Knights #1 with an Ahsoka cover, which again, pretty cool. I like this Ahsoka cover too. I like the I told you, the Razan. I like the foil. I don't know which cover I'm going to get. This is probably the backup to the foil. If I don't feel like spending on the foil, I might get this one just because it's a cool Ahsoka cover. And with that, this is the first installment. And this one, I do have a rundown for you. So we're getting one issue next week on Legacy of Vader 2, and then we'll get one. Oh, actually, we'll get 2 on the 26th. So it's only going to be four books. It's not a lot. It's not a huge run. So if you want to collect them all, it's only 4. Now, kicking it up again, these are coming out weekly now, it seems. And I actually have an actual on the cover. They've got their own little branding now. So Iconic Variant Edition by Todd Knock. That's what we got. We've been running them for a while. This week, we're getting a Ghost Spider. So on Ghost Spider number 11, see in the top corner, they added the new quarter box, logo. Still don't know all the covers that we're getting for this series or this run, how long it's going to run. It's been running for months now. I mean, this is not like a monthly variant. This might be a whole year for all I know. I don't know. But out of what we have gotten, missing the Red Hulk because it wasn't on this list, this is what we've gotten so far. So we still know we got a West Coast Avengers coming next month and at least a Phoenix one coming, and then more on top of that. Now, I think we've gotten 2 of the 4. So now we have our third member of the Fantastic Four getting their own individual variants for the month, and that's the Invisible Woman. So we've had the Thing, we've had the Torch variants last month. Now we've got the Invisible Woman variants, and this week we're starting off with 3. So I'll probably hold off on doing a short till we got more. But here we go on Immortal Thor. Boom. Mjolnir. Can't find it. She made it invisible. Fun. Jokey covers. There's room for these. There's room for the jokey covers with just the cool stuff. Spider-Boy. Also getting an Invisible Woman cover here. With the throwback. It looks almost like the movie branding down below. Cool. Also, Wolverine getting another cover where I guess she's making him invisible, so we just see the adamantium skeleton of Weapon X instead of naked Wolverine running through the snow. All right. I'm probably not getting any of these personally. It's just, they're all right, but it's not something I feel like I need to have or a run that I feel I need to complete, but they're out there. And if you do want to complete them, here's the list. 3 this week. We'll get 4 next week, and then a couple more to finish out the month. I'll probably split it next week and do like, because I think there's 10 total, right? What we got? 3? Yeah, 10 total. So probably do 5 and 5 and do 2 shorts for the month. But with that said, we're still not done. We're still not done. We still have more theme variants on the way with kimono covers. That's right. You thought Peach was not being overworked lately? Well, I guess she's been saving it, because here we go. We got a whole Peach Momoko month. And there's a lot of these. So buckle up. Kimono variants for characters. Again, these aren't bad, especially if you like her style. Here we go with Moon Knight, Fistaconchu number 6. In a kimono, you got Tigra. It's not bad. It's a bit of an animated, cartoony quality to it. We're also getting NYX. You want to get Ms. Marvel in a kimono. Scarlet Witch gets a kimono. Storm gets a kimono this week. That's right. That's 4 already. We're not done. Rogue gets one on Uncanny X-Men. And again, this is a nice cover. I kind of like it. But I don't know if I need it, but it's not bad. And with that, that's the first week. You can see here, we got more to come in the weeks ahead. But yeah, that's a lot of kimono variants. I think it's like 19 or something like that. I forget. I didn't count. I'm just kind of remembering the number. But with that said, we're still not done. Because following up on the success of the last 5, I think we're 5. We're 4 or 5. Anyway, we're getting a plethora more. What is a plethora? More Marvel Rival variants. Now, do not expect the same heat and excitement for this group. These have been known for a while, ordered probably very heavily, so I imagine there'll be plenty of these to go around. That said, there may be 1 or 2 that end up being under ordered, and the demand is higher to meet that demand. The demand is higher than what was actually ordered, because it'll be like an obscure character or something like that, and maybe one of these will pop. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I would not expect the same level of surprise and excitement that the first run had, where basically everything came out of the gate and was like 10, 15 bucks, 20 bucks, 25, and they went up from there. Like the Magic still is around like $30 or $40. With that said, this week started off Doctor Strange. So on that Strange of Asgard, similar kind of vibe as the last one. So it's almost like a character design cover. But that's not how they're all going to be. They're not all character designs, because then we have this one on Immortal Thor, which is more like it's a design, but it's not like, hey, this is what the character looks like. It's an actual cover. It's an actual picture that they drew, almost like the Galacta and the Jeff the Landshark one. This is an actual cover, and this one is for Loki. So we get a couple of I guess it's Loki and Hela, a couple of characters there from the game. Again, it's a fun game. I've gone back and played a little bit more. I don't play it every day or anything like that. I'm more like a once every week or two. I'll just dip in and just have some fun to waste like 5 or 10 minutes as I'm waiting for us to get ready to sit down for dinner or something like that. But with that said, this is probably my favorite of the bunch. But then Moon Knight here is not bad either, because I like the blue. I actually put something in the background. It's not just a white design cover. The blue background, I guess, to help pop Moon Knight, since he's wearing all white, helps this one. But this is a kind of a cool design cover here. So I do kind of like this one. But with that said, we're getting a few more than the last time out. Last time out, there were only a handful. Now we got a couple handfuls. So here's what's to come. We're only getting 1 next week, and then 3 and 3 to finish out the weeks ahead of March. So once again, be mindful that orders probably will meet the demand. They've been open order for a while. A lot of orders, and there'll probably be a lot of copies out there. So don't feel like they're going to hit like the last ones. That's my take. That's my guess. I could be wrong. And come Friday, we could be talking about all 3 of these being $10 to $15 books again. I don't know. But I feel like there'll be enough to go around. With that said, we're wrapping up here. We're getting near the end. We've got oversized books to get to. And the only oversized book we have this week is from Distillery, and that is The Missionary. So continuing, this is issue 2 of this series, I believe. So if you're reading it, again, I just can't pick these books out. It's like $9, and it's just not something that allows me to just kind of pop in and pop out. So if it's good, or any of these stories are good, please tell me. I'm more than willing to dip in if I've got word of the story's good, but I can't be gambling on books like this too often, because again, budget won't allow for it, because I got a lot of other books I got to read because of other suggestions here and there, things like that. But with that said, cover A, B option here as well. There is also apparently a not suitable for work version of this, which I got to assume is more blood related and not like, oh, they put his wiener on the cover or something like that. I just got to imagine there's gore or something. That's my guess, but I don't know because again, I haven't read this title. I don't know what the take of this is. But there is a not suitable for work version. And then there are incentives as well. So we do have a, 1 in 10, 1 in 25, and a 1 in 50 here. And with these kind of creatures, I mean, maybe we're talking, there's nudity on there. I don't know. But I got to imagine it's gore. With that said, let's just get to covers. Covers that I like didn't fit in other segments, didn't fit in other sections. Just covers stood out to me, felt worth a mention. Some I'll be picking up like this one. So Birds of Prey 19, Dan Panosian. You guys know I'm a fan. I like Dan Panosian. So this is a connecting cover, like in the true sense of the word, and that these actually do connect with last month's issue. And when we were looking ahead, boom. That's pretty cool. I like this. I'm not regularly reading Birds of Prey. This might make me have to because I got a couple issues back to back. I sit down and read it. Maybe I'll get hooked. I don't know. But I do like this, these two covers going together. With that said, there's a 1 in 25 is not bad. A lot of ninjas. It seems more like a panel from the story, and I do like that sometimes. I kind of feel like this could use a word bubble on the cover. Like, you boys ready or something like that? Like maybe some sort of taunt coming from Black Canary. I don't know. But this Serge Acuna is a pretty cool cover. Kind of like it. Alex Ross. It's Alex Ross, but I don't love every Alex Ross cover. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he is a fantastic artist. But there's some covers where I just go, meh. This one, though, I dig it. I like it. Executioner's back. Cool. Thanos in the background there. Cool. I like this one. I almost put this in as my taste test book for the week, but with Ultra Mega being $8, I felt like I could probably hold off on a Moral Thor a little bit longer. But I do like this cover. I do like it a lot. I might just get this cover just because. And with that, Ghost Spider. So we had her in that iconic variant earlier on, but this is just the regular cover by Mark Brooks, and it has kind of that Disney vibe that we got all those Disney variants. But I kind of like it with the rockets. It's got like a throwback. I feel like I'm in the world of tomorrow, or I'm over at Epcot or something, looking at something there. It's kind of cool. Gods and Monsters Beyond the Stars. I just like the design of it. And speaking of design, I like the design of her suit, which we actually do get on this 1 in 10. And again, she looks like a Disney character. I normally don't like design covers, but this one, I kind of like the design of this suit. It's kind of fun. I don't know. I'm still probably not getting this for 1 in 10 because I don't need it. But in looking at it, I'm like, all right, it's kind of a cool look. And that's it. We got one more segment, our cheesecakes, and then we'll be done. And with that, we're sticking with Marvel because we do have a couple of Scarlet Witches here. We got the cover A by Dauterman. It's been killing it on these cover A's. A lot of these have been good. I love the layout here too. With you got the demons and you got the Amaranth or whatever. I think that's how you say her name. And you got Wanda, and then we got Amaranth here with the horns and whatever. Cool. Sitting on a skull, not bad. Poison Ivy also finds herself in here almost every time out with each issue, as we do have more covers here, including I forget who the artist is on the one in the middle, but that is one of my favorite covers of this week too. Again, it's kind of that kind of like anime kind of Japanese art kind of vibe. I dig it. And the Jenny Frison classic art. It looks like a throwback to like the old school like the 40s in a sense, like the way that it's kind of laid out and drawn. I like it. And then we also got a Tula Lote 1 in 25, and then a Virgin 1 in 50, which the tiny little trade dress that they had on there is off of it. Cool. I'm fine just getting the trade dress. All right. Up next, we have we got a Vampirella, and it kind of looks like Zoe Deschanel a little bit when you look at it really fast, like the new girl. But I do like this one too. This is a nice cover for $6.75. I kind of want to pick this one up. It does have it being Dynamite. There are other versions of it, including a Virgin version of it. We'll get to that later. Or you'll see that probably in a short, because I do like it and I needed a way to work this cover in, and that's how I decided to do it, because I do like it. But we'll see. The Perillo here, also pretty good Excellent placement of the blood there to cover the bits that we can't show. And as per usual, we got a Linsner. Quality as always. It just seems like there's so many good covers on these Vampirilla books sometimes. Like, you can't get them all. And then we got a few others here. Ring It In 2025. And then we do have a cosplay cover. And then there was a 1 in 10 that removes the blood and I guess gives you a not suitable for work cover. So it's not shown here, but yeah, you can get it uncovered without the black box at your shop if you want to. Now, I'm fully aware that this cover here does not fit this section. I only use it because it's Grim Tales of Terror #3, and without it, I wouldn't know what title this goes with. So I had to put this in here for the other covers for this title, as you can see here, with the Royal and I forget who did the one on the other side there, but both kind of Reaper, Demonesque kind of characters. Cool. And then we take the one we have here in the center, make it a little bit more risque, and as you know, this will be our 1 in 20. Cool. If you like collecting those, go for it. They're not easy to find and can generally cost money, but it's also a limited collector base. So they are what they are. And with that said, that is my list for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you all saw some books you found interesting. And please let me know about other things I should be reading. And with that, I once again want to thank you for all the support for the channel, but please keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And I will be back soon with some more content. I got another G.I. Joe chasing ghosts for, I shouldn't say another. I have a G.I. Joe chasing ghosts coming your way. I do have something new finally coming back to Toy Informer this week. Again, it's been a while since I've done something over there on my other channel, but please go give it a look-see. I talk about things outside of comic books with toys, sneakers, video games. And I felt like I got in a rut of only talking about those two things. So I decided to go off the reservation and talk about a really weird topic this week that'll surprise you. And it'll probably be a fun little show. So if you want to hear about vintage collectible fruit snacks, yeah, people pay money for fruit snacks and fruit snack boxes. Go check it out. I'll probably drop that one on Wednesday over on Toy Informer. And with that all said, thanks for all the support. And I'll see you all soon with some more content. All right.